Over the last year and a bit, I've been trying out some UHI gear and I've been quite impressed by it. Once a big skeptic of Chinese manufacturing, I've come to appreciate the value that these little machines provide. But there's problems with some Chinese gear and there's not problems with other. How do you tell the difference? Well, I went to UHI recently and I had a chat with Ray and I'm trying to find out a little bit about UHI and Chinese manufacturing in general. G'day Ray, lovely to meet you mate.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
Ray, I've had a few viewer questions about Chinese manufactured machines and I've got a few of my own. Can you give us a bit of a hand about how to approach Chinese manufactured machines and what Chinese manufacturing's like?
Absolutely. Let's go inside and we can discuss.
Mate, this looks like a little beauty. I love little red diggers.
It is nice and nice, a beautiful machine.
Mate, we may as well start with the obvious.
Yep.
What is UHI?
Okay, so UHI stands for United Heavy Industries,
Yep.
which we started about 6-7 years ago, but we have growing rapidly during the last few years. So we now have 7 branches in the country now, and we're still expanding.
So you've got a branch in pretty much every state of Australia,
Exactly.
except Tassie.
That's right. We're aiming to get a new one in Tassie next year, and on top of that, we already have branches in Canada. So I believe the 3 branches already set up. And if everything goes smooth, we're going to step in the US market next year. And the following year is going to be UK market.
Okay, so that's a huge expansion.
It is.
You don't own the factories that manufacture these products, but you have some partnerships with them, is that correct?
Well, we do have, owners have shares in the factory, one factory, but we do source from different suppliers as well.
So Ray, Chinese manufacturing, it's different to what I'm used to. How does it work?
Okay, so basically, you probably heard of that. We have hundreds of factories in China.
So it's not just Ford and Holden, you've got like hundreds of Fords and Holdens, all competing with each other.
No, they hundreds of them, way more than that. So, yeah.
So how do we sort out as a customer what we're actually going to get? Because there's different tiers, aren't there?
Exactly. So depends on who you're approaching to. So they want from top, second or third tiers.
Okay. So a top tier might be manufacturing parts for Caterpillar or someone like that.
That's right, like this XMG, they used to manufacture Caterpillar before.
Right.
So they're biggest in China now. So
they're a top tier manufacturer.
That's right, they're 3rd largest in the world, so they're top tier.
And then there's second tier, which might make cheap parts that you can get from your local tractor dealer.
Exactly.
And then there's third tier, which you wouldn't touch with a barge pole.
Yeah, we don't really touch that part. Yeah.
How do I know what I'm getting as a consumer?
Well, I have to say, frankly, it's harder for customers to know which tiers you're getting the machine from.
Yep.
But as UHI, we very care about that part. So we have to make sure the machine all get from China. So we have a team to go through the factories, build up the relationship, and for all the parts support, quality control sort of things, make sure everything does right. You know, we want the right machine for the right service, right parts for all the customers.
So it's all about human relations when you're dealing with Chinese manufacturing, rather than corporate structures.
Yeah,
You've got to have relationships with people.
I have to say both.
Right.
Yeah, both. It's very good to have a business relationship, and on top of that, personal relationship is also one of the key factors as well.
So you can actually, you were telling me off camera, you can actually call a guy in the factory and say, hey, we've got a problem with this part.
100%. 100%.
And they react.
They react, yeah, for sure.
But you're not going to get that unless you build the personal relationships.
Exactly. It's going to be a bit harder to have a strong relationship between doing these sort of things.
So I suppose for consumers over here, there's lots of different brands coming out of China now.
Yep.
Some of them will have those relationships and those structures and that support, and some of them won't.
Yep.
It's really just a case of people waiting to see who looks after them and who doesn't. And I suppose it's like anything else, you've got to build brand recognition, don't you?
Exactly, 100%. Because the reasons we've been growing so rapidly, because you got the right products, right price, and right service. So team, one of the reasons UHI does well, because we provide a good support with parts all available as well. So I'm going to introduce David. He's a supervisor of the UHI.
Now David, you look after the spare parts and customer service here.
Yes, I do, Tim.
Spare parts for UHI machines, you've been in business for about 6 years. What's the chances of something that was bought 6 years ago, you having the parts in stock?
We've either got it here or we've got it in Sydney. They've got 700 something square meters of warehouse up there.
Yep.
And guarantee that we can have your part the next day from Sydney in an airbag, or if we haven't got it here in Melbourne, we can get it from China in an airbag 2 to 3 working days.
And sometimes the inevitable happens. Someone wants a part that you can't get in stock and it's big. You can get that from China in reasonable time as well?
Yes, we can. Normally 3 weeks, but 4 weeks maximum. It'll be in a container landed here in Melbourne.
Well, I like big shiny things, so I better go and hassle Ray a bit more. I want to see some shiny things.
You can go and hassle Ray as much as you like, and he likes showing off shiny toys as well.
Now, Ray, you're starting to sell some other brand names as well, not just UHI. You're starting to be recognised in industry also.
Yeah, that's correct. So we are now in partnership with a fair bit of big names in China.
And Zamillion's a big name over in China?
That's right, the third largest in China. So the top tier manufacturing.
Okay.
And they like this particular scissor lift.
Yep.
So that has been in the market for a couple of years, and that has been recognised by top the industries guys like XS. They bought 100 of them. The aim is we try to gather in all the key products from different factories
Yep.
to help customers over here.
Now you're getting me excited, mate. Big shiny toys, I love it.
Yep, beautiful.
Chantui's another brand name that you're starting to distribute as well.
That's correct. So see this bulldozers here?
Yep.
So we just received it a few days ago. And yes, not many people are familiar with the Shantui, but they used to be in partnership with Komatsu for at least 15, 20 years.
And now they're going out on their own.
That's right.
So Ray, it's fair to say with UHI's success, they're actually starting to get some copycats in the marketplace now. People are pretending to be you guys.
Oh yes, we do have a few players in the market who try to copy us,
Yep.
which we find out from the customers. So
Amazing.
That's right. So some just don't believe them. So what I'm trying to say is UHI is only UHI. There's no related to any other companies. So if any machines and resellers, they'll tell you they are UHI, they're not.
Okay.
Okay, we got a few customers already told us they've been told they are UHI, which they're not.
So on that note,
Yep.
if I'm going to any Chinese manufacturer, we won't talk about UHI now, we'll talk about any Chinese manufacturer, what would be your rules for sorting out who you should deal with from who you shouldn't?
Okay, so probably give you 3 tips.
Yep.
So first is dealership. So see if there's only got one small shops around the corner somewhere, I wouldn't say it's going to be bad, but you give it pay a bit of attention on that.
Yep.
And also the support as well, service and the backup parts as well. Make sure ask the questions.
So dealer network, make sure that they've physically got the parts.
That's
in stock.
correct. Yeah, that's correct. And also not try to hide in the name of the manufacturer as well. So like the Shantui, we're in the partnership, and Zoomlion, XMG. This is a big XMG reference in there. So
Yeah,
we're
right.
not trying to hiding anything. What we're trying to do is bring in all different suppliers, key products in the country, and support it local.
So if I can't Google a brand name and find out that it's big over in China, then it's probably from a second or third tier manufacturer, and it's something to be wary of.
Yeah, most likely, unless, I mean, still second tier still okay for little jobs of like private use, so that's not a problem.
Yeah.
But for the big machines, you're going to be careful with where you go.
Well, Ray, thanks very much, mate. I've had a look at Big Shiny Machines, tick, and I found out a little bit more about UHI, so thank you for that. As we said before, the proof's in the pudding. Some people will appreciate the honesty of the answers that you've given today. Other people will never be satisfied, but that's just the nature of business, isn't it?
Exactly. So we can, but all we're here is to try to help as much as we can, and to keep the transparencies, all the products here, the support that we've been providing.
Yeah.
And I'm very confident majority of customers are very happy with us.
Well, thanks very much for your time today, mate. I've
No
loved
worries.
looking around and
Thank you
meeting
for
the
coming.
team. Guys, if you like this kind of video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. There's plenty more on timthompson.ag. And hopefully those of you that have been asking questions about UHI dealer backup and support and the quality of the machines have at least got some guidance in how to ask the right questions when you buy a product from anyone. Ray, thanks very much again.
Thank you again. Nice to see you.